Hey guys, James Martinez here from All Things Digital, and today I wanted to discuss something with you Airbnb folks, and that is how to get more reviews on Airbnb. So, getting good reviews is necessary to make people want to book your rental property, right? It makes sense. Following are some of the tried and tested ways that experienced hosts use to successfully get more reviews on Airbnb. So one of the first ones is it's kind of about the customer experience. So you want to make sure you turn on instant booking, okay? So instant booking, what that does is it reduces the friction of people having to book your space. Instant booking allows them to book without your approval, but you still have the ability to cancel the booking, right? But if the majority of your bookings are pretty, have been pretty successful or whatnot, and you're looking to get more bookings, you turn on the instant booking, and then you make sure to review the person who booked your space and make sure they're up to your standards, and you can then cancel if need be. But the fact that you'd have instant booking on will allow you to get more bookings, and it'll also allow their experience to be much better because it streamlines the experience for them. So at the end of their stay or whatnot, they'll probably say like, wow, it was easy to book, the rental was great, and we're real happy, and blah, blah, blah. So, they're more likely to leave a positive review if everything went well, right? So another thing you want to consider is the right price, okay? So if you don't have any reviews and you're looking to get more reviews, and maybe you're not seeing a lot of traffic on your listing or whatnot, what I recommend you do is, first things first, do a little bit of price research, okay, for other listings in your area. And when you see what other people are renting for, you want to initially make a better offer than those people because you're trying to get more bookers and trying to get reviews. So what I'd recommend you do is decrease your price a bit, right? And yes, you may not make as much money as you could, but at least the frequency of your rentals will increase, which then in turn will allow the frequency of reviews to increase, okay? So it makes sense, give it a little bit of a discount, get more people in, give them a great experience, and then in turn you'll get more reviews because you have more volume, basically, right? So definitely consider your pricing and consider, being much more competitively priced, okay? Being a bit more affordable than people who are in your same category. Another thing you really want to make sure is that you have an accurate listing description, okay? It's important to provide a very clear and detailed description and photos of your space and its location, okay? Don't leave out anything for fear that it will scare off guests. You'll only be hurting yourself if you book guests that don't like something about your property and location that you failed to mention in your listing. You will most likely get a bad review. So include information that they may not like, such as, no air conditioner, there's no convenience stores or delis nearby, it's a noisy spot, and it may sound counterintuitive, but the thing is, if you put that stuff in your listing and people are aware of it in advance, okay, then they won't get there and be disappointed. And nothing is worse. You're probably better off not getting the booking and hoping that others will be more understanding than you are to get the booking and then people show up and be disappointed about noise or no air conditioner or, there's no stores nearby for them to get anything, right? So it's basically what we're talking, I say accurate listing description, but basically what I'm actually saying is honest, okay? So an honest description, and you can be creative with it, slight traffic noise in the area, but that's because it's a great location located near blah blah blah, right? Maybe take that negative and spin it. We don't have the room doesn't have air conditioning, but it's so cool here at nights that we actually prefer to have the windows open and listen to the birds chirping in the morning. You guys get the idea. So another thing you could do is potentially implement a cleaning checklist, right? So cleanliness is one of Airbnb's rating criteria. So you want to make sure that your place is clean, right? And to be consistently clean, whether you're cleaning yourself, or, you have someone clean it for you, having an actual punch list will ensure that your listing gets, your room or whatnot rental gets cleaned to your exact specifications notifications, okay? Because there's nothing worse than renting a space and you walking in and it's dirty. You know what I mean? There's, you know, you don't want to skimp on cleaning because nobody wants to walk into someone else's mess. So, you know, a way to get more good reviews is by having a nice, clean listing, right? Nice, clean place for people to stay. So consider your cleanliness. Don't skimp on it, and create a cleaning checklist. Another thing that I really recommend you do is you write a good house manual, okay? So, you know, these people are coming into your space and you want to, you want to be welcoming and you want to let them know, all those pertinent questions that they have, so like the house manual is kind of like an instruction book for your guests, okay? It can include like a welcome message, welcome to blah, blah, blah. And, some of the great things about this area are, A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. If you need transportation, you can use, Uber comes very quickly, or there's other alternatives. You can rent a bike around the corner, or you could do blah, blah, blah. So there's lots of things you could do there. Also including your Wi-Fi password, relevant information about your property and location, such as, if there's times, quiet times or any sort of situation like that, your basic house rules. But the other cool thing is to offer kind of info, almost like a tour guide, right? Your house manual can be a double as a tour guide where it'll tell people, here's the things that you may want to check out locally that we really love to do when we're here. Maybe there's specific notes about, your appliances, maybe you keep, because of limited space, you keep your teapot somewhere a little bit out of the ordinary and all of that stuff. These are all those things that you want to try and, give people a little bit of a heads up, and they'll really, really appreciate it, right? So, and then while we're talking about the house manual, we're talking about getting good reviews. You also it would be great to, put on your house manual in several places. Please, please let us know, let people know that you had a great time staying with us, okay? Obviously letting them know by giving them all this great, valuable information and then letting them know you'd love a great review. It kind of leads the horse to water, so to speak. You know what I mean? So add a page that explains to them the review system and how it works and how it helps you, and then they'll be, more inclined to do something great for you there. So another good thing you could do is have great communication with your guests, okay? You want to establish good communication with your guests, when they register, when they check in, during checkout, with your checkout messages, your welcome notes. The more personalized your notes are, and the more personal feels to them, the more likely are they're going to have a great experience, okay? So some of the personalized welcome notes can be written on a small blackboard or a whiteboard near the entrance of your location. But what, things you may want to do is have like a check-in message, right? So you could send this message through an email or Airbnb's chat feature within 24 hours or so before the guest's expected arrival time, right? So it kind of lets them know, like, hey, you should be coming here within 24 hours or so. We're really excited that you're coming. Here's my phone number. Here's all my contact info. Kind of just being there for them will give them that real warm and fuzzy, as they say. Then you can have a checkup message, right? So you send this message after the guest has checked in to inquire about their stay so far, right? This is your guest's chance to kind of clarify and settle some issues that are not in the manual potentially. And if you resolve issues early, it's more likely they won't appear in the reviews, right? So if there's issues, you'll never know unless you check up. So I recommend you check up with these people and just say, hey, just wanted to send a quick message, touching base. Is everything okay? Are you finding everything okay? Were there any problems? By you asking if there were any problems, and use that word. Were there any problems? They'll either say, well, I don't know if it's a problem, but I was just curious about this, or yes, we did have a problem, and here's what it is. Use the word problem because you can immediately rectify and solve the problem, right? So, I do recommend that you do that. Resolve any problems early, and you'll never know about those problems if you don't check in with these people. You'll find out about it at the review time, and that's not when you want to find out about it, okay? So also your checkout message. This is the message sent just before the guests leave your rental property. So you want to thank them for booking your place. You want to ask if there were issues during their stay. Again, if you can resolve the issue, how can we resolve it? If we didn't find out about it soon enough, maybe we can rectify it by doing something instead, or helping you out with some other way, or talking about potentially the next visit, right? So this is also, the checkout message is the most important time to potentially say, if you've had a great stay, we'd love and very much appreciate if you could leave us a positive review, right? So the messages shouldn't be longer than like 200 words, right? Because people don't want to read all of that stuff. So nice, short, and sweet. How is everything? Was everything great? If so, please, leave us a review letting us know. Or I always like to word my messages, the last part of the message being what I want to happen, right? So I would say, I hope your stay was great. Were there any problems? If so, please let us know. If there were no problems, please don't forget to leave us a review. It would really help us out, or we really would appreciate your positive review on Airbnb, right? So I always like to end with the action that I would prefer them to do, so that it's the last thing that sticks in people's mind, right? Now, the other thing you could do is, you can kind of give some sort of, like stuff to these people, or just, little gifts, right? It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be like chocolates, coffee, candy, or something like that. But, if the guests mention they have kids or a baby, you can obviously, have something packaged that they know is clean and safe and all that stuff. But, if you have something that you can make their stay a little extra special, right? Give a little more care. If they're newlyweds, maybe there's, some sort of, cute little gift you can give them. Depending upon the rental, you may even want to say, hey, here's a little gift card to somewhere or whatnot. Just make it super memorable, and offering them a little free something or other to make their stay that much more special. It can't hurt you. It can only help you when it comes to review time, right? So, obviously you also want to, like number 8 would be like providing modern amenities, right? So, people want rental properties that are updated. They want a smart TV. They want to potentially be able to plug in a USB stick and, look at pictures or whatnot. If they're photographers and they want to download it to their thing and have it up on the TV. Maybe you have a Netflix account ready to rock and roll on it. Obviously free Wi-Fi, coffee makers, video games, you want them to feel at home in your home or in your location. So, it's great to have all these things, and then also mention these things in your listing again. So people are like, oh, wow, look, this place has, a bunch of really cool board games, or Cards Against Humanity is in the nightstand. Awesome. Like whatever the case may be. So, have all those great things that make a home great, so that when they're there, they feel like they're at home too, right? So, another thing that you want to do is leave your review before the guest checks out, okay? Airbnb will alert you to leave a review before your guest checks out, so that they can also leave a review before they get busy after leaving your place, right? So after you submit your review, Airbnb will inform the guests of your review that they can only read if they leave one for you too, okay? So it's kind of a two-way street here, okay? So, if, out of curiosity, many people would take the time to leave you a review so that they're able to read yours, okay? So, when you leave that review, it's an impetus for them, like, oh yeah, review time, blah, blah, blah. So make sure you leave your review. You want a review in return, make sure you leave a review for them, and try and do it as timely as possible, so that they're not, trying to board a plane or going crazy through a city or something, and they don't have time to give you a review right then and there, right? So it makes sense to do that as soon as possible, like before they check out, preferably a little bit time before. Now, you want to reply to all public reviews, okay? So if you want to get more reviews, you want to make the people who leave the reviews feel like they're heard, right? So when other people see that, they're more likely to book, which will in turn will allow you to give more reviews, get more reviews rather. So every time you receive a review, whether good or bad, okay, it becomes visible on your Airbnb page for other people to see. So make sure that you respond and respond quickly. Now, Airbnb allows hosts to directly respond to public reviews, and you're given the opportunity to thank those who left good reviews and set the record straight or resolve issues in bad reviews, okay? So what I recommend is you read carefully and report the bad reviews that don't comply with Airbnb's content policy, okay? Airbnb may take a look at it and actually remove the bad reviews. But if you have a bad review that's legitimate, okay, what I always recommend, no matter what it is, if you get a bad review, most important is to respond quickly, professionally, and even, unfortunately, even if the review is really, really, you don't agree with the review, you don't, what your relationship with that person may be burned, but what you're trying to do with your response to the bad review is build a better relationship with the person reading it next, okay? Or the next 10, 15, or 100 people. So if there's a bad review, I recommend you reply to the bad review and keep your next potential person in mind, right? Almost make pretend that while you're replying to that bad review, there's someone standing next to you, listening to the conversation between you and someone who's angry with you, right? So if they were next to you and this person says, oh, this rental really stunk or whatever, you'd probably, with the potential customer being next to you, say, listen, I'm sorry you had a bad experience, and I want to do anything in my power to make it, have been a better experience. Now, what was the problem? Here's how I remedy this situation. Here's how we could fix it. Can we come to some sort of agreement? I always strive for 100% customer satisfaction and blah, 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 blah. You want the next person to see, wow, this person really cares about their reviews. They care about their listing, and they care about their renters, right? So always respond as soon as possible to all reviews, positive and negative reviews. Respond in a very, very professional manner. Nobody wants to see an argument, especially people who are thinking about renting from you. They're not going to rent from you if they see you arguing and slamming people who give you bad reviews, right? So in conclusion, these are 10 things that can get you help to get you more reviews on Airbnb. A lot of people really overthink this, but the fact of the matter is, if you just provide great service, provide a great value, offer some little details and show people that you really pay attention to who they are when they come into your space and that you're trying to make it great for them, there's no doubt you'll get some great reviews on Airbnb. If you need more tips, or if you want to get more reviews on autopilot, I do have an online reputation management service that can get you more 5-star reviews on Airbnb, as well as dozens of other booking sites, okay? So feel free to visit my website, atdny.com, to learn more about that. It's called the Online Reputation Management. It'll be the first link in the description of this video, and it'll definitely pay for itself in no time flat. It takes the review process and streamlines it for your customers, and in turn makes it super, super easy for you to get reviews. Hopefully this video was useful to you. If you like it, please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.